Hello friends, welcome back to this HTML tutorial. Here is the part 4 of this tutorial. We shall be discussing the topics displayed on the screen, and the first of it is we'll be discussing HTML, JavaScript, HTML forms, HTML form labels. Then I will teach you HTML input types. Okay, so let's start with HTML JavaScript. Let's wipe all these and then reload our index.html to make it empty. You see, JavaScript helps you to add styles, and it just helps your website to be more dynamic. Okay, you can see JavaScript can help a web page look dynamic and more attractive. So how do we add JavaScript to our website? We add it using the script tag. You write script, then you add your type. You add your type to be text /Java/JavaScript. Okay. Then any style I add in between these two tags can reflect on my web page. This is an internal JavaScript, but I can also add JavaScript to my HTML document externally. But we'll discuss in this tutorial only the internal system of adding JavaScript. So let's say I have okay, let me start with the alert. I can just say alert, then I can say this today is Friday. Today is Friday. If I reload this, you see the pop-up box over here. You see the pop-up box up here. I can decide to add in between my body here. I can decide to add the paragraph tag, and I just say my ID should be demo. Then I can come inside my JavaScript to write something in between the paragraph tag to add a content to it. Then what I'll just do is I'll just say, like, don't worry if you don't understand all these things I'm doing. Very soon we'll start the JavaScript class so you guys can get along. I'll just say let name be equals to this. Okay, document dot get element by ID, and I'll just say demo. Okay, then I'll come here to say demo or name dot inner HTML, name dot inner HTML is equals to Damilola Victor. Then if I reload this, you see I didn't add this name from my HTML, I added it from the script. So there are many more functions of JavaScript. It's a user side language. It helps your website look more attractive, more dynamic. You can add some kind of functions that interacts with user. Okay, so that's how to add JavaScript to. I'm not going in depth into it since it's not a JavaScript tutorial. Then the next thing I will show you is the HTML forms. You see, many websites make use of forms. Let's wipe this and then reload to make this empty. Many websites make use of form, and to add form to your HTML document, you use the form tag. Okay, we have the action attribute. We have the method attribute. Okay, we have the onSubmit attribute. Action, method, onSubmit. Okay, let's deal with these three attributes first. This action attribute over here tells where the form will be submitted. Okay, if I have index.php, at the end, when the user fills this form and submits, it will be submitted to index.php. This method, we have two types of method. We have the get. Let me write it, and it's not a tag anyway. We have the get. Okay, and then we have the post. What get does is, you see, when you use the method as get, it's not secure. It submits the form, but your input whatever you input inside the form will be displaying inside this address bar or up here. Okay, but why if you submit with the post, it doesn't display in the address bar over here? So post is more secure as a method to use when submitting a form. Okay, so search engines make use of get, but private informations like private data makes use of post. Okay, why the onSubmit defines the kind of function you want to use, like the functions you want to use to validate the form before submission. There are other methods. We have the target. If I have a target like this, if I say target, there's a target blank. Okay, what this target attributes and the value of blank does is when you submit the form, it opens a new page. Okay, it opens a new tab in the browser. Okay, so let's get into input, HTML input. We have the HTML input. I will not be cleaning this form because the input will be in between this form tag over here. We have different kinds of input. Perhaps you fill the form online and you have first name, last name, you have to create password, you have to add telephone number, you have to add age, you have to have different kinds of data inside the form. So the first kind of input we will talk about is the text input. We have the text input, and this just takes normal text. Aside the text, we have the password. We have the password input. Then we have the date input. We have the number input. We have the number input. We have the telephone. And just different kinds of input. Okay, so let me reload this page. I think it's too bold. Okay, you can see the text input. You can see if I write in this password input, you see it's not displaying what I've just typed. Name, see, this is a text input. This is the number input. See, that's like a number counter. Okay, and let me continue with the attributes of each one. You see, input type text, there's something we call placeholder. I can say please insert name. If I reload this, you see my placeholder here. But meanwhile, if I just click on this and start typing, the placeholder leaves. It just gave the user a clue of what to type inside this input type over here. Aside the placeholder, we have the name. We have the name. We have the name. We can say username. And this is used to identify this particular input type, which is text over here. We have the ID. We have the class. We talked about that in our previous classes. Okay. Then we have something we call required. Required. If I reload this and over here, I'm just going to do something now. Another input type we have is submit. We have the submit. Okay. Then I'll come to this form over here and add on submit. Or before then, let me see if it's just going to. Okay, you see, I clicked on submit and it's telling me to fill out this field. It's because I just added required to it. This is saying this is required. If there's no data in here, do not submit. Meanwhile, this just it's risky to use HTML required to secure a form. We'll talk more on that, on securing your form in PHP and form validation in JavaScript. Okay, we have other input types. We have another one. I have another input type, and that is file. You have the file input type. If I reload this, you see, you can upload, you can click on it, and it's going to ask you to upload a file. All these attributes can be added to each one that you have to type something. Okay, like the placeholder, you can also add it to the password. Let's try that. You can say placeholder, placeholder, password. You see that? Let's try it here and see. Placeholder, number. You see that? Then let's try with the date and see if it's going to display or not. Placeholder, no, date. See, that's why it said it works with this. For example, this placeholder only works with inputs where you have to type in something, and you have to type in something by yourself. If you click on this date, you see that's too big. Okay, if you click on this, you see that. Then we also have another one, the input type color, where you can select color. Just say type color. You see that? You can just come here to select color. You can't find your color, you just click on add custom color. Okay, just come here to select the kind of color you want. Then another input type we have again is we have the radio buttons. We have the radio input type radio. I just want to do something here. I want to use the label over here. Label. Then I'll put this input type in between the label tag. Label for, let's say, female. Then I'll come in between here to write female. Then male. Do button male. You see this to select female, to select male. Then the last kind of input we'll talk about is the time input. We have input, now we have input, then time. Let's reload. See that you can add time, say 12:45 p.m. Okay, so all these are inputs you can add to your form when creating a form. Okay, so that's it about this tutorial. See you in my next class. But wait, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to drop your comment. Bye bye.